Ladies and gentlemen, objective journalism is dead. And as I've always said, political commentators are all we have left. That is why I have started this series, Who Is, to answer the question of what biases these political commentators have and the moments that made them famous. I'm excited to present to you now my episode of Who Is Tucker Carlson.
All right, Mr. Vice President, I know you're running for president. Of course, we called in our interpreter. What percentage of your staff did you fire at Twitter? Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson started his career writing for the Weekly Standard. Tucker then transitioned for working for CNN on his show Crossfire.
I'm Harry on your show and you sniff his throne and you're accusing us of partisan hackery?
Absolutely.
He then hosted his show Tucker on MSNBC.
Faith that suffering confers wisdom. And in fact, suffering does not confer wisdom. And simply because, I think it is true. But simply because you have suffered through something, you have been the victim of this, that, or the other thing. I've suffered, I've been there, I survived, whatever it was that you survived, doesn't mean you have moral authority that exceeds anyone else's moral authority, nor does it mean you have particular insight or wisdom into anything.
4 years later, Tucker would settle as a Fox News contributor, eventually gaining a primetime show.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson, and happy Monday. We're about to show you surveillance footage from inside the United States Capitol. The images you'll see were recorded 26 months ago today, on January 6, 2021.
Today, he has his own show on Twitter.
Vladimir Putin is exactly that sort of man, the sort of man who'd shoot himself to death in order to annoy you. We know this from the American media, which wasted no time this morning in accusing the Russians of sabotaging their own.
Now, here's the deal, guys. Everyone wants to be a patriot. That is why, well, not everybody. The left is not a fan of that. But every conservative and any American wants to be a patriot. That's why I have partnered with Gulag America Apparel. Gulag America Apparel is the best clothing for the best patriots. They have t-shirts, hoodies that are great quality. I have t-shirts myself. I'm going to wear them on future episodes. Gulag America, if you use my code right now, JoshCar10, you will get 10% off at gulagamerica.com. Fantastic gift for your relatives who are patriots as well as for yourself. Again, there are men's and women's clothing at gulagamerica.com. Use my code JoshCar10 for 10% off. Now, there are many moments that made Tucker Carlson famous, but a few really stand out. Take a look at these.
Babies. The idea is that only the children themselves should be able to decide whether they are boys or girls, without any of that pesky biological reality getting in the way. It's all very confusing, like a lot of 2018 is. So, of course, we called in our interpreter of all things progressive, our liberal Sherpa, Kathy Aru, founding publisher of Catalina Magazine. She joins us tonight. So, Kathy, goes without saying you're for this, of course.
Yep.
But doesn't this mean if you're going to raise a baby, how would you be able to change your child's diaper? Because the second you change the diaper, of course, you'd no longer be able to pretend that there was a question about whether this was a boy or a girl. You would know. Democrats are all in on it. And by it, I mean the assumption that there's no privacy whatsoever, that they have a right to know everything you're saying and thinking.
That shit's scary.
And that's just not a right as far as I'm concerned. You have by the way, if you have no privacy, you have no freedom. Freedom is predicated on privacy. It's like none of your business.
You don't even think about that. Like they're can just go through your phone and find everything.
They did it to me. What percentage of your staff did you fire at Twitter? One of the great business stories of the year.
I think we're about 20% of the original size.
So 80% left.
Yes.
So
I mean, a lot of people voluntarily.
Sure. But it's 80% are gone from the day you took over.
That's correct. Yes.
So how do you run the company with only 20% of the staff?
It turns out you don't need that many people to run Twitter.
But 80%? That's a lot.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Vice President, I know you're running for president. You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years. Yeah. Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, like,
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you like this video and if it gave you a little bit of value and entertainment, please consider subscribing down below, as well liking, commenting what you thought about this video. Share it with your friends and family. Thanks.